Keir Starmer and dishonesty seem to go hand in hand. Nearly 6 months in, and honestly can't tell what's true or not whenever he speaks. Not only that, but he never answers any questions. Today's Prime Minister's questions was no different. He lied again and got called out. Let's dive into the heated exchange and see how people across the country are responding. But first, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our rapidly growing community. Let's play a game. How many times does he not answer a question? Have a watch. What are your thoughts on this?
To misrepresent me to make his point. I don't need to misrepresent him to make my point. Yes. The truth is, he didn't think this through. Cutting winter fuel payments isn't just callous. It may not make savings. It could actually cost us all more. And that's not the only policy which is making things worse. The Chancellor's budget is a body blow to family businesses and also charities. Marie Curie have warned that Labour's budget will cost them nearly £3 million a year. This is a cancer charity saying they have no option but to reduce services. Did the Chancellor tell the Prime Minister that her jobs tax was going to hit charities?
Mr. Speaker, she's asked 3 questions about winter fuel with leaving out. I'll come to that. But she's changed her mind on this. She used to say that the payments were a dead weight. She said there were members of her constituency who didn't need it. And they all stood in 2017 on a manifesto, a Tory manifesto, that committed to getting rid of the universal winter payments for pensioners. So we can see what their real commitment is. As for the budget, we're driving up productivity.
I don't want to have to ring your mother. Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we're driving up productivity, prosperity and living standards. That's a pay rise for the 3 million who are the lowest paid. They should welcome that. A pay rise for those working in the NHS and better than expected wage growth just before Christmas. What unites all three? Delivered by Labour, opposed by the Tories.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know what world he's living in. The economy is shrinking, and they did not think this jobs tax through or who it would impact. Another area affected is the hospice sector. Hospices believe the budget will cost them an extra £30 million. Yesterday, Conservatives voted to exempt social care, nurseries, charities and hospices from their jobs tax. Labour voted this down. So can the Prime Minister at least agree to fund hospices so they can continue their invaluable work helping people at the end of their lives?
Mr. Speaker, we put a record amount into the NHS in the budget to deal with the problem that they left, and we'll set out the funding arrangements for hospices in the new year. But it's the same old, same old. They want all the benefits. She said to herself she wants all the benefits from the budget, but she doesn't want to pay for any of them. That's what got us into the problem in the first place.
Mr. Speaker, I did not hear a commitment there to help hospices, which is a shame. The truth is, this winter, people will be suffering because of his choices. The economy is shrinking, inflation is going up, and jobs are being lost because of his budget. Pensioners won't be able to heat their homes because of his government's decisions. They raised people's hopes but then smashed them with broken promises. And now we learn that he is about to give away our hard-won Brexit freedoms. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, now we learn he is about to give away our hard-won Brexit freedoms. The truth is, they are punching the British people in the face, literally in the case of one of his MPs, and he will pretend that this is about the past. But we all know these are his choices, bad choices. If he's looking for a New Year's resolution, why doesn't he start with telling the truth?
I'll do it now. £22 billion black hole left by them. Record numbers on the waiting list.
It's not a good time to leave the chamber, is it? Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, £22 billion black hole. Record waiting list with our NHS. They should hang their heads in shame. Immigration completely out of control. Nearly 1 million net migration. She was the cheerleader for all of that. She wants the truth. That's the truth. That's why they're sitting there. Mr. Speaker, whilst they cart from the sidelines, talking the country down, this government is getting on with the job. Record funding for the NHS. Money for our trains, buses, and yes, Mr. Speaker, potholes. Pay rises for 3 million of the lowest paid. Wages growing faster than inflation. Planning laws reform. Great British Energy set up. We're only getting started. Next year we'll continue to rebuild, no matter what the blockers opposite say.
Let me know in the comments. In other news, a major retailer has confirmed that store closures are in its future, following Chancellor Rachel Reeves's decision to launch a tax raid on businesses as part of her autumn budget. Shoe Zone, which currently operates 297 stores with around 2,250 employees, has announced many of its locations will be forced to shut down as a result of the hike to national insurance. This would make the retailer the first to link store closures to the policies rolled out during the Chancellor's budget. In recent years, Britain's high streets have been decimated by a wave of store closures, with nearly 10,500 locations permanently closing in 2023 alone, according to the Centre for Retail Research. Stores understood to be closing include Burnham-on-Sea in Somerset, Boscombe in Dorset, and Burgess Hill in Sussex. During her fiscal statement in October, Reeves confirmed that the rate paid by employers would increase from 13.8% to 15% for employers in April next year. This has been slammed as a tax on jobs by major high street businesses and supermarkets, with Labour being urged to make a U-turn on its decision-making as soon as possible. Earlier this morning, Shoe Zone issued a profit warning and admitted the business has experienced very challenging trading conditions since the autumn budget announcement. According to the shoe retailer, sales and profits were already under pressure due to weak consumer confidence following the autumn budget amid the ongoing cost of living crisis. Furthermore, Shoe Zone cited the impact of wet weather in the weeks leading up to the Chancellor's speech, which likely led to a drop in footfall for its high street locations. However, the company took particular aim at Reeves's move to raise national insurance rates on employers and hike the national living wage in a double whammy hit to businesses. In a statement, Shoe Zone stated, "Consumer confidence has weakened further following the government's budget in October 2024, and as a result of this budget, the company will also incur significant additional costs due to the increases in national living wage and national insurance. These additional costs have resulted in the planned closure of a number of stores that have now become unviable. The combination of the above will have a significant impact on our full-year figures." As a result of this, the High Street Shoe Shop estimates profits for the year to September 27, 2025, to be not less than £5 million. This would be half the £10 million previously projected. Within its wider retail portfolio, Shoe Zone is made up of 112 high street store and 185 larger format stores. The organisation sells brands such as Skechers, Hush Puppies, Rika, and Lily & Skinner. Based on official figures, it is estimated that Shoe Zone sells around 13.9 million pairs of shoes annually to British consumers at an average retail price of around £13.30. David Maslin, the head of tax at Old Mill, broke down why raising the rate paid by employers on national insurance is not the biggest change to the tax that businesses will feel. He explained, Rachel Reeves' 30 October budget contained significant changes to employers' national insurance, which are due to take effect from 6th April 2025. But the big kicker for employers is that the secondary threshold will reduce from £9,100 to £5,000. The impact of this on employers can be understood when one looks at an employee earning a salary of £9,100. Under current rules, the employer's national insurance liability for that employee is zero. Under the new rules, the burden is £1,600 per year. The additional burden to employers is therefore huge. It is a tax on employment and is a general disincentive to employing staff. However, there are categories of employees where this additional NIC burden will not arise, and this does not appear to be widely understood. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.